Read the passage. A lengthy passage takes a lot of time, but questions are easy. How many questions total? 8 questions. Of 8 questions, 4 questions are based on comprehension skill and 4 are based on vocabulary. All the 4 based on vocabulary you should be able to answer without reading the passage. And 4 questions based on comprehension, again easy to answer, but the problem here, lengthy passage under pressure, not that easy. So whenever you come across a lengthy passage, what you have to do, go to each paragraph and try to look for the answer. At the beginning of the paragraph, you may see the answer. That is one of the techniques. Shall I start with the first question? And what is this passage about? It's all about? Tell me, have you read the passage? What is this about? Okay, fine. According to the passage, what could be the watershed moment in the financial reforms of Indian municipalities? Underline watershed moment, an important expression. What do you understand from this? An important moment. Write the meaning. An important moment. And I think in the first paragraph it mentions the answer. You find the answer. It talks about what? The answer is the second option. What is the second option here? The 4 specific agendas. Where is this? Is it in the first paragraph or second paragraph? Go to the second paragraph and the last sentence. If the final report furthers or even maintains these 4 specific agendas. Do you see that? So answer is the second option. Question number 2. According to the passage, what are the 2 important entry conditions suggested for receiving FC grants? Please go to the 4th paragraph. 4th paragraph. Second, 2 very important entry conditions have been set for any municipality. And what are those 2? Publication of audited annual accounts, 1, and notification of floor rates for property tax, the second one. Which option talks about these 2? The very first option is the answer. Right? Question number 3. As per the reader's observation of the passage, which of the following statement is true? Here the first one is not about recently formed municipalities, so mark the first one wrong. Has found basic requirements was not emphasized in the previous FCs, not correct. And what is the third option here? Has recommended the state level common platforms for accounts in the municipalities. But actually passage talks about common digital platforms. You don't see the word digital. Do you see the word digital here? But in the passage you see digital platforms. But based on common platforms, could be digital or could be some other. Answer should be the third option. Based on that, what is the answer? Only the third option. Have you chosen the third option? Fine. Now first 3 questions based on comprehension, and if you focus on the paragraphs you may get the answer. That is one of the techniques, do remember. In the exam, I think this passage is almost 1000 words easily, it could be. Both the sides you see the passage, yes or no. So whenever they give a passage, lengthy passage, 1000 words or 1000 plus, they know your problem. What is your problem? You have to answer 30 questions in 20 minutes. What is the stipulated time? 20 minutes. So lengthy passage, not that easy. So they try to make it easy for you to answer the questions the other way. So how do they make it easy for you? They may ask questions based on the first line of each paragraph. And when you come across a lengthy passage, if you feel you don't get enough time, at least you try to have a look at the first sentence of each paragraph. The first sentence deals with the main idea of the paragraph. Based on that, they may ask the question. That is one of the techniques you have to follow. Now we'll go to questions based on, 4 questions based on vocabulary. What is the first one here? Agglomerations can be synonym for. Agglomeration, what do you understand? Positive or negative? Positive. It is something like accumulation, collection, gathering, any of these, piling up. What is the first one? Collage. Underline the word collage, and it goes with, how many of you know about painting or photography? Please write 2 words. If you take these art forms, imagine there is a frame, this is a frame, and usually they display either color photos or black and white photos. But if you see a combination of color and black and white photos, and also a few paintings. That is known as a collage. Have you got an idea? It doesn't go with this context, does it? No. Let us go to the second option. What is the second option here? As I said, they have taken from, see what happens here, you must have noticed, I don't know whether it is going to be this way in the exam or not. You must have noticed what they have been doing. Of 5 options, 1 is the answer obviously. Remaining 4 they are taking at random from some field and all the words they are giving. If you look at these words, collage, gallery also goes with paintings and photography, theatre, art form, and construction, slightly different. Elimination you can get the answer. So what is the answer here? Obviously the 5th option. But don't go with that ideology. I would like to caution you people. In the exam it is not going to be that easy. Every time you depend on elimination, that is a wrong approach in my opinion. Because you may get the options which you can eliminate, or in the actual exam you may get options which you cannot eliminate. Then what is required? Your standards matter all the time. Based on the question, based on the context, based on your vocabulary, if you can answer the question, fine. But elimination, it doesn't work all the time. I hope you agree. Fine. Let us go to the next one. How many of you answered this question? Raise your hands. Answered this question. Many. Let us see. What is underline the word antonym. They want the opposite of antonym. What is the word here? Farsightedness. How many of you know there are 2 meanings of this particular word? One goes with your sight, farsightedness. The other one, it means thinking of future, judging the future, being wise, being prudent. And here the key says the 4th option, that is wrong. Please write 3 words. Already 2 words are there. Underline the word farsightedness. Underline the word forethought. That is not the answer, mind you. And also write the word foresee. Foresee also a synonym. Farsightedness, forethought, and foresee the future, visualize the future. All these are synonyms, so they cannot be the answer because the question demands synonym or antonym. Antonym. Distant, far, obviously not the answer. Low, it is not high or low, but hold that one. And drowsy, how many of you know the meaning of the word drowsy? If the class is not interesting, how do you feel? Drowsy. And the master does not notice. After a few minutes what happens? You doze off. Doze off means what? Short sleep. There are 2 words I want you to learn. One is nap. The other one is doze off. What is the difference between the 2? Nap is intentional and planned. If you take those who are pretty old, not youngsters like you, but old people usually after lunch, what do? Every afternoon they sleep for a short period. Yes or no? That is known as nap. Doze off, also short sleep. Both mean the same. But what is the difference? Doze off goes with, imagine you are waiting at the airport for the flight. You get bored, you are alone. Then what happens? Slowly you doze off. Have you got the difference? Unintentional. And here class is boring. What happens? Front bench you cannot do that. Back benches they can take the liberty of dozing off. I hope you got the meaning. Drowsy means sleepy, feel sleepy. Drowsy means what? Feel sleepy. Does it go with this context? No. And forethought, synonym, not correct. What is the last one? Very close. Now you have to decide between the 2nd and the 5th. Far, what is opposite? You have to respond. Close. So what is the answer based on that? How many of you have chosen the 5th option? Oh, wonderful. Let us go to this again based on vocabulary. Bring out the meaning of the phrase glacial pace. How many of you, the other day, if you remember, I gave words related to based on glaciers. I don't know how many of you remember. I gave words like blizzard. Tell me what is the meaning of the word blizzard. Snowstorm. Blizzard means what? Snowstorm. Cyclone from the ocean. Cyclone. But blizzard, snowstorm. If you go to a mountain region, snow-capped mountains, you experience a storm full of snow. That is known as blizzard. I gave the word, if you remember, I gave the example of the movie Bahubali. 1 or 2 I was asking the students. Avalanche means what? The glaciers, they keep moving. What are glaciers? Thin sheets of ice. and they keep moving slowly. Sometimes what happens when they come across a steep point, they fall down. When they fall down, they fall with a lot of force. Then we use the word avalanche. Have you seen Bahubali? One or two avalanche? One. She remembers. So here, glaciers move slowly or fast. They move very slowly. You cannot notice also. It is difficult to notice the movement. Very slow. It is like snail's pace. What is the meaning of snail's pace? Very slow. Same thing here. What is the first option? Slow in change. Hold that one. Great change, mark it wrong. Disappear, impossible. Glaciers cannot disappear. And good pace, no, none. So what is the answer here? Slow. They move very slowly. You cannot notice also. How many of you answered that one? Okay. But here you have to know something about glaciers and about the movement, then easy to answer. I think we have one more. What were the complex challenges identified by the Finance Commission report? If you go to the last paragraph, it talks about rupees 50,000 crore of additional borrowing limits for states to reforms in property taxes and user charges for water and sanitation. There is also a thrust on municipal bonds and municipal finance reform conditions under AM Amrut, whatever it is. Here, what is the first option? Minimum facilities in the residential area. Hold that one. May or may not. And what is the second option? Ordinary amenities. First and second, same meaning. Basic facilities, basic amenities, both mean the same. Underline the word amenities. Amenities means what? Facilities. Both mean the same. Write the meaning. Facilities a simple word, amenities a better word. So you cannot consider one or two. Both are ruled out. What is the third one? Air quality and sanitation. Does the passage talk about that? No. Go to the last paragraph. I see here one is water and sanitation. Charges for water and sanitation. And let us go to the next page. Has anyone seen those two terms? Raise your hands. Which paragraph? Last one or last but one? Last paragraph. Last paragraph talks about common platforms, digital platforms. Last paragraph. Are you sure it has been mentioned? Then what is the answer? Air quality and sanitation. Whether you read the passage or not, when you talk about a particular municipality or a particular town, what is important? Two things are important. One is air quality. Today you go to Delhi, the most polluted city. So on what basis you say it is the most polluted city? Air quality. And what is the second thing? Sanitation. Sanitation is the most above air, down sanitation. These are the two factors one has to consider. Sheer common sense, we'll go to the last one. Define the term thrust. I'm sure you can answer whether you read the passage or not. Thrust means what? What is the word that has to pop up in your mind? Force. Thrust means what? Force. With a lot of thrust means with a lot of force. So what is the first option here? Push forcefully. That is a meaning. For that you don't have to read the passage. Reverse the object. No. Painting from top to bottom. This the one who has prepared the paper obsessed with certain fields. And last time also I noticed it going in a particular pattern. Have you noticed? And covered totally. Tear off into two. Underline the word T-E-A-R. It has two different meanings. One is what? As a noun, how do you pronounce tear? Tears roll down her eyes or his eyes. And as a verb, how do you pronounce tear? What is the past form? Tore. What is the past participle? Torn. You got to be a little careful. And a lot of people, next room, what is happening? Do you have any idea? Next room, what are those sessions? SSC, CGL, target mains. What is the other word for target mains? A lot of educators also say tier 2. It is not tier 2, it is tier 2. How do you pronounce this? Tier, same tier. If the paper is very tough, This changes to TEAR. We'll go to the next one. Now passage is over. Who has got all the 8 correct? Over or one more is there? 8, all 8 over. Who has got all the 8 correct? 7 correct. 6 correct. I will not ask beyond that. I appreciate those. We'll go to these questions. What are these? Columns are easy, but always remember columns, if you're really good at English, you can solve within no time. If you're not good at English, you have to take to the fag end of the session, because they take a lot of time. You have to read and you got to be careful. The finance minister presents the budget in the Lok Sabha first with what? With a budget speech. Yes or no? I'm sure you all know current affairs, general awareness. So how many options with AE? Underline the first one and the second one. The union budget has come up for, before you go to the second part, come up for what? Discussion, debate, analysis. These words have to pop up. So where do you see the word discussion? D. The union budget has come up for discussion in Rajya Sabha, before the Lok Sabha only 5 times in the past. So BD, then do you have to go to the next one? Where do you see AE and BD? Only one option, so you can go with that. But check the third one also. The Lok Sabha is still discussing the motion of thanks for the President's address. Address what? A budget, while a budget speech, and then there is a customary laying off the budget in Rajya Sabha. Or somewhere something went wrong. AE, BD, CF. Let me see. The Lok Sabha is still discussing the motion of thanks for the President's address, while the debate on it concluded in Rajya Sabha on Monday. Perfect. So what is the answer? First option. He reaches a valley and just before his boat goes down a waterfall. Boat, waterfall, related or not related? Hold that one. That Sindbad you cannot connect, hence you cannot use. So what is the answer here? First one. AD, they make sense. How many options with AD? Underline those two first. And let us go with the second one in a systematic way. CF, what is C here? Having heard of Sindbad and his travels, the old man believes. Hence the communication. Does it make any sense? No. Let us go to the fourth option. Having heard of Sindbad and his travels, the old man believes that Sindbad is a prosperous businessman who has Allah's blessings at all times. But there is a problem here. What is the problem? Strike off the comma and use a full stop. Sentence is over, right? So what is the answer? Fourth option is the answer. I hope you understand what I am saying. Why that question mark face? You? Are you listening? Oh, okay. The viral pictures show a board of shipping company FedEx behind what? The men and another with parking bus stand written on it. Do you think AF make a pair? Yes or no? So AF, how many options? Let us cross check. The viral pictures show a board of shipping company FedEx behind the men and another with parking bus stand written on it. Though it can't be seen clearly, a closer look at the second board reveals Ludhiana printed just below the word bus stand. Makes sense? Third one, some other boards in Punjabi can also be seen. We can see something, something can be seen by us. Passive voice. So what is the answer here? Easy or difficult? But time taking. A leader must have the ability to communicate. Clearly would have been better. Communicate after escaping doesn't make any sense. Communication? No. I hope I'm with the correct question. Even a small amount of gap in communication can lead to chaos. One word misses and pause changes, everything results in chaos. So do you understand B and what is the other one here? B and, why is it moving? F. Even a small amount of gap in communication can lead to chaos. Chaos we have got many a time. What does it mean? Confusion. Chaotic situation. Total confusion. So how many options with BF? Check CD also. Hence, the communication of a leader must be what? Clear and crisp, so that the entire team shares the same vision and goals. Perfect. Goes with the workplace. So what is the answer? Third option.